Hello world of gamers, it is time for another pickups video. Maybe you will see something in this video that inspires you to spend some of your Christmas money. And maybe you will see some games that you already have and some that you might want to add to your own collection. This is a little collection of games that I've picked up in the time since I made the last video. I haven't counted how many there is. I will count it up for the thumbnail. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consoles in total. Mainly modern this time around, with a little bit of modern retro. And the reason I'm saying modern retro is because retro all depends on when you first started playing video games. Modern retro is the last couple of generations, in my opinion. I'm mainly focused on picking up new games at the moment because I'm having a lot of fun buying games for the PS4, for example, which is coming to an end of its own life cycle, meaning that there's lots of fantastic games that are now at very low prices, and the Switch having recently just been replaced by the Switch 2, in my humble opinion, is a console handheld to start collecting for now. Okay, we'll get into it. I'm going to start with the smallest pile first and then work my way through. Beginning with, in my fashion, showing the game in front of the camera, Zelda Phantom Hourglass. I will talk a little bit about each game if I have something to say about them. This is one of my favourite Zelda adventures. I didn't have it in the collection. I have had it in the collection before and sold it. I played it a long time ago, all the way to the end. The reason I picked this up is because I was watching a video about the top Zelda games in the opinion of another YouTuber, and he had this one ranked quite low down and complained about the use of the stylus for this game, which I found at the time to be an absolutely wonderful way to play a Zelda game. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being able to use the microphone as well for certain parts, which had us stumped until I eventually figured it out. It's just a fantastic adventure. The only thing that I didn't like with the stylus was the final boss, when you had to draw a figure of 8 over and over again. It just, it was a nightmare to get it correct, and took us a long time to finish that boss battle. That was me only frustration. Keeping it almost DS with 3DS. This is a game that's been on my radar for a long time. It is considered a bit of a hidden gem. Originally came out on the Wii U. This is the prequel to that game, and they have also, Lego, have released Lego City Undercover on the Switch as well, which I bought for my nephew for Christmas because I think he will really enjoy playing that game. I am going to pick up the Switch version as well. I'm tempted now as well to also pick up a Wii U. I've been looking at Wii U games recently and the prices are so low, and it would be easy to amass a very good collection on a console that I've never really had that much to do with. I've played one game, I think, and I played it for about 5 minutes and that was about it. But hey ho, moving on. This video is not about the Wii U. Okay, where should I go next? I'm going to go with Xbox 360. I'm hoping I haven't repeated any games from the last video. I don't think I have. I really should have checked, but sometimes times are limited. So Sniper Elite V2. This is a game that I've only played a little bit of. The Sniper series is one of those series of games that I've really wanted to get into and enjoy. The only one that I've put any amount of time into is Sniper Elite 4. And this one, I think I originally played as a digital download, maybe through PlayStation Network. Can't remember exactly, but I played a little bit, and it will be a game that I do pop in at some point. Rebellion are not my favourite when it comes to shooters. They've put out so many games, and a lot of them I just haven't really liked enough to play them all the way through. Anyways, Way of the Samurai 3, I do want to pick up 1 and 2 in this series. Again, this is a series of games that are considered to be hidden gems with fantastic living, breathing worlds for you to dive into. I haven't played any of them. I will give this a play very soon. I do have some time off in the new year, and I intend to do lots of gaming, and this will be one of the games that definitely gets played. Next up is a little bit of a blind buy, Stoked, which is a snowboarding game. The only reason I picked this up is because my fiance likes old school snowboarding games, SSS Tricky. I am going to secretly buy them for her this Christmas time. This one isn't SSS, obviously, but she does like snowboarding games, so I decided to pick this up so that we can have a try of this together. I don't like snowboarding games. I find them really difficult to play. Anything along those lines, like skateboarding, BMXing, I really want to be able to play them, but they're just too fiddly. Too many buttons, and you've got to do things too quickly. The Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. I have had this in the collection in the past and sold it. I decided to pick it up once again so I can play some old school Sega Mega Drive games. Little bit of a story about this one. I finished Streets of Rage for the first time with my son, which was a highlight of my life. I don't know if it was a highlight of his life. He was only young at the time, and we were playing this game together and finally were able to beat the last boss. And the reason that it was a highlight for me is that Streets of Rage 2 was a game that almost every person I know who had a Sega Mega Drive had, and we used to play co-op together in anybody's house that I went in that had that game, and I could never beat it. I came close a few times, but couldn't beat the final boss. Colin McRae Dirt. I did own this a long time ago, didn't play much of it before I got rid of it. I've brought it back into the collection because, again, I was inspired. I watched another YouTuber talk about all of the rally games on the PlayStation 1, and one of the highlights, one of his favourites and one of my favourites on that video was Colin McRae Rally 2, which for me is one of the best rally games that has ever been made and is still very playable today, and I was unbeatable when I played anybody co-op on that game. Colin McRae Dirt is a little bit of a sidestep from the normal rallying type of game. I will get back into this when I have a little bit of a Colin McRae revival, I guess you could call it. Next up was another blind buy. I like picking up things that are completely different from what people normally like to pick up and collect. I'm always on the lookout for little oddities. Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard is certainly one of those. I know nothing about this game. I do understand the history of Matt Hazard to a certain degree. I know that it's a character from way, way back in the day. The 360 was one of those consoles where stuff like this would be brought back into the modern world, like Golden Axe Bomberman, for example. Will it be any good? I don't know. I will find out at some point. Moving on to PS4. I think it's only PS4. There might be a PS5 game in. I'm just quickly looking through the pile. I think it's all PS4. So PS4 next, and then we'll get to the last pile. A recent pickup, Aliens Dark Descent, as recent as just a couple of days ago. I didn't realise what type of game this was until I saw it on a YouTube video for, I think it was isometric games that you should play. I love Aliens. The first two Aliens films especially are my favourites, with Aliens being my favourite. I do like some of the Aliens games that have come out, especially Alien Isolation. That game was just, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've been looking forward to another game coming out in this series, this franchise that I could enjoy. This game, I think, is going to be it because it's in the style of game that I do enjoy playing. It's very much an RTS style of game. Similar, I would say, to something like Halo Wars, which I haven't played, but I do know of and have a copy of the first one, I think, somewhere in my collection. I've just started playing this, and I'm really going to give this a good playthrough in the coming days. this weekend. Next up, Persona 5. I already have a copy of this on the Nintendo Switch. Why did I pick this up? Because this is the Steelbook. It's in very good condition, and when I saw it in a local CEX store, I think it had a price tag of like £4. It was £4 or £6. It might have been £4, and I just thought, wow, I'm gonna have to snap this up because I'll probably never see that again. If you try to buy this version online, you'll pay about 20-30 quid. So there we go. As I've said before, steelbooks are very collectible these days and sometimes hard to get for a reasonable price. Next up, Back 4 Blood. Basically Left 4 Dead for the modern gamer. I picked up a copy of this a long time ago, didn't get into playing it, decided to bring it back into the collection. I also bought a PS5 copy for my son, and I'm hoping that during the Christmas period we'll be able to do a bit of online gaming together, because Left 4 Dead was one of our favourite games to play together when he was younger. Another one that has been in and out of the collection, South Park, The Fractured Butthole. This is a game that I actually played quite a bit of a few years ago. I think I bought it for my son one Christmas and then played a lot of it. I don't remember why I stopped playing it, but I then did start playing the Stick of Truth, which is included on this disc or as a download. I can't remember which. And finished the Stick of Truth. And then I've looked at this a couple of times thinking I've got to get it and finish it at some point, and eventually picked it up. The reason I went for this one is because of the slipcase. I do like little oddities or little things that stand out, that are unique, rather than just the standard sort of stuff. Next up, 7 Days to Die. This is a game that has been out for a long time. I looked at it years ago and thought, oh, Minecraft Zombies. I don't know about that. Then I've kept looking at it thinking, at some point I want to try it out just to see what it's like for myself. I've played a little bit at the beginning and I'm not that impressed. I don't know if I'm going to follow through and continue playing. I might get a little bit of a serious play whilst I'm off work. We shall see. And then finishing off with 2 games in the same series. So we've got Watch Dogs 2. I haven't finished a Watch Dogs game yet. I've only played the first game, and I've only played a little bit of the first game. It was the first PS4 game I played, if I remember correctly, because it came in the box with my son's PlayStation 4 when I bought it back in 2014. I would like to play and finish one of the Watch Dogs games, so that I can get all the way through to Watch Dogs Legion. Not much more to say because, as I've already said, I haven't played them yet. They've been on the radar like so many games, and it just comes down to time and what am I interested in and what do I really have the motivation to commit to, and it just hasn't been those games yet. So finishing off with the Nintendo Switch, Soul Reaver Remastered 1 and 2. I did an unboxing for this one, the Legacy of Kain series, so I'm not going to talk any more about that game. And then I can't remember if I showed this in the last video. I don't think I did because I'm sure I bought it afterwards. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. This game for me is incredible. I actually owned a copy of this on the GameCube years ago now. I got quite into it, got stuck, and then I gave up. I'm not going to harp on about, things in the past that I used to do and didn't do because I've said in other videos. But I've always wanted to get another copy of this game. And here it is. I've started playing it again. I just love the art style of this game. I love the humour of this game. It is fantastic. And then, keeping it old school, Suikoden, the HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunan Unification War. 2 games that I avoided picking up for the PlayStation 1 when I was collecting for the PlayStation 1 because they've always had high prices, and I've always looked at them and thought maybe one day I will eventually get around to picking them up. I do have digital copies on my PS Vita, and now I have a hard copy of both games, and I'm looking forward to playing them. Then we have Psycho Collection Volume 1, and I realised when I picked this up that this is a slightly different collection because I think this is an Asian, maybe Korean release of this collection of the games. So it's slightly different to the American and European release of this Volume 1 collection. Some lovely games. I do like a shmup. I'm not very good at playing them, but I do like having them in the collection and pulling them out and playing from time to time. Still keeping it old school and GameCube once again. Bait & Katos 1 and 2 HD Remaster. Games I never picked up. Well, the first one was the only one that you could get in Europe. I didn't pick it up. It was a game on the radar for a long time. And here it is in the collection for the Switch. I love the Switch for this reason, as I've said before. I've started playing the first game and I am enjoying it. The art style of this game is incredible. It is really, really beautiful. And I love the added card battle mechanics with the RPG turn-based sort of combat with this game. And we have two left. One I've already showed in another video, 13 Sentinels, so I'm not going to talk about that one. And then we have one final game for the Switch that I've picked up, which is Lego Horizon Adventures. Horizon Zero Dawn is one of my favourite games of all time. It is absolutely incredible. This one is obviously not going to be as incredible, and I've never really been into Lego games, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And that is it for the time being. Happy Christmas, stay safe going into the new year. I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.